So if 80% of our employees are saying they're stressed out, and we realize that stress is a major cause of most conditions, whether it's cancer, depression, anxiety, sleep disorders, obesity, diabetes, what are we going to do about it as leaders? And whether it's your business or your home, because each part has a part of our whole lives of how we create a less stressful environment. Henry Ford said, culture eats strategy for breakfast. Culture eats strategy for breakfast. So how do you create a well culture? So do me a favor, close your eyes and think about your businesses. And if I was interviewing your employees right now and trying to get an assessment of your company on how well it was, what would your employees say to me? God, we can't wait to get here every day. They serve me green smoothies every morning. I've got standing treadmills to walk on. I've got a great HSA plan. They bring in great lunches. We have walking meetings. We have headsets. I probably would hear all that, right? So when you think about creating this wellness culture for your business, you have to realize that wellness is a choice, moment by moment, individually, as well as a company. So how do we take that into our own businesses and our own lives, and how do we truly embody it so it becomes consciously a conscious choice originally, and then it becomes unconsciously competent, where we are just automatically doing it. And every decision we make, we are just choosing it based on our paradigm shift that we want to provide a healthy, well-being environment for our employees. So number one, realize wellness is a choice. Number two, come from it from the right perspective. When I look at businesses, I'm looking at it from a whole perspective. The model I use is called the 4-quadrant model: mechanical health, chemical health, energetical health, and psychological spiritual health. Likewise in a business, you've got to pay attention to operations, marketing, finance, and leadership. You can have all the great resources financially, but you have poor leadership and poor delivery on a process of what you sold, you're not going to have a great business. So I wanted to come from a whole perspective. The third is to create a well-rounded plan. So when I look at a plan for a wellness company, I look at it from those 4 quadrants. What do we need to do mechanically? So in my business, because I run a business too, and I've got to think about how am I creating this. So some of my staff will come up to me and say, I want to talk to you. I said, well, walk with me. And we'll go for a walk. I'll say, how's your workstation? Why aren't you using your headset? Because I do know that if you're on a phone all day long, it's going to create potentially neck problems. So many times employees come in to see me as a practitioner, and they'll say, I'm getting carpal tunnel from my job, from sitting at that computer, or from being on the phone, or from sitting at a desk. If you've not heard, sitting is the new smoking. Wow. Sitting is the new smoking. Released February of this year, the research. So as an employer, how can I care about you and helping you live well? Because if I help take care of you on a wellness perspective, my bottom line is going to be well. So going back to this holistic approach, am I concerned about your having a good chair, a good headset, being able to get out and move around? Am I maybe providing you with Fitbits? One thing that we have with a lot of my tribe members is we have Fitbits. And so Gigi and I were walking back to the hotel last night, and we got lost a little bit, but we didn't care because we knew we were tracking up steps. We were racking up steps. This morning I was pacing the hall because I had so many steps I wanted to get in before today started. Tom, you saw me out and about a little bit. So there's mechanically, what are you doing? Just like operations. What are you doing chemically, or the marketing side? Because marketing fuels a business. If you don't have customers, you won't have a business. Are you providing healthy water? Are you trying to maybe minimize some of the poor choices? I always say add in the good stuff, and the bad stuff starts to naturally fluff away. So make sure you're providing water, maybe some water bottles. If you're serving, one of my favorite things to do is to serve green smoothies. So if you call me and you're in Kansas City and you say, hey, Michelle, I want to get together, I say, great, come by for a green smoothie. A green smoothie? I'm like, yeah, come by. We'll have one, two or three things happen. One is I get to stay in my own environment. I'm in charge of what I'm putting in my body. 2, I get to expose you to something different. So I really recommend if you have not had a green smoothie, you try one and take it one step further and buy the nice blender and supply your staff and your employees with the fresh fruits and vegetables. so that they can start to partake in those. Maybe when you're having meetings, instead of bringing in pizza, bring in salads. Find some healthy vendors to deliver great food to your business. It'll be amazing. The rewards you will get far exceed anything you can imagine because they'll be more present, right? Presenteeism is a new word right now. Can I have people be more present so that we are more effective in delivering our message? Then you look at this energetical side. Am I mindful about the lighting? Am I mindful about the music playing? Am I mindful about the different noises in my business? You look at the psychological, spiritual side. Do I take time when I walk in to say, good morning, it's great to see you? Do I take time to care about your family and your kids? Do I take time to include them in some of our meetings? When I'm taking you out of your family life for maybe a staff retreat, do I include your family members so that they're part of our extended family as well? Am I mindful about emailing you late at night and saying, by the way, can we get this done? Because sometimes people have their own limited beliefs about what they're expecting of us. So if I send you an email because I'm trying to get off my to-do list, and if you're the type of person that think, oh my gosh, my boss just sent me an email, I need to respond, they lose sleep over it. So I encourage you, maybe hold your emails till the next day or when you're on the weekends. Can you have everything in the draft box and then send it out so that they're not thinking, I need to work over the weekend? Create the culture in the family that you would want to work for. So as you start to, once again, you realize wellness is a choice individually. You got to figure out your why. We've talked about why a lot today, and you got to think about your why as a business. Hopefully it's not all about the bottom line. It's about making them more productive citizens so they're happier and healthier so we can end some of the diseases and the eradication of some of the crazy things that happen in our world. 2 is you really start to just come from the right perspective, from a holistic area. And 3, you just shift it. You shift the whole paradigm by looking at it and implementing some of those different habits. And number 4, you really engage them, include them in the process. Include them in the process so they'll buy in. That's nothing new, right? We want our employees to buy in. So as we start to wrap up our time together, so as you close your eyes again, you're thinking about, gosh, what would they say? And walk through your business, and you walk through the front door, and you've got fresh eyes, and you open your front door, and you think, gosh, how does this place smell? How does my furniture look? Does it look worn? Does it look like I've taken care of it? Is my building clean? How are the workstations? Are they cluttered or are they uncluttered? Am I providing the right resources so that my team, they do not have to live in a cluttered environment? Is equipment up to date? Where they feel safe? The parking lights, when you walk back out the building at night, are they safe when they're walking to their cars if it's dark outside? All that will lower their anxiety, which will in turn help all these health conditions we're talking about. Because I really do believe that stress is probably the #1 killer in America. So how do we change that? So I'm challenging you, and I'm challenging me, as I've been doing it myself. I want to tell you, once again, I run a business. I'm in the wellness business, and I realized about 6 years ago, I had people walking in with McDonald's and Wendy's and Subway and Taco Bell, those 4 places right close to my office. And so I've had to do this. I've had to start with the top. I had to walk the talk. And so as Michelle Robin has gotten healthier, my team has gotten healthier. They've said, you know what, if she can take time to work out, we changed our hours. The hours we had, they were not conducive to living a wellness lifestyle. You can't be at the office from 6:30 in the morning till 8:30 at night and have a life. And so we said, you know what, let's just change our hours. So we did. And now my staff, they leave at 6:15, and most of them are going to the gym, or they come in and they've already been to the gym and they've worked out. No one would dare bring McDonald's in our office, not because I say don't do that. It's because they don't want to. They realize how they feel. And they want to have that energy, not only for themselves and their families, but also that when clients walk in, they can say, gosh, they looked at a staff photo recently that was about 8 years ago, and they said, wow, how much weight as a team have you guys lost? And we didn't do it about the weight, because it's never about the weight. Never. It's about creating a self-sustainable lifestyle that you feel good about. So I challenge you to go create a wellness culture. It's not that simple. I mean, it's not that hard. It's also not that simple. It's deciding where you're at right now, deciding where you want to go, and taking the next easiest step. So the easiest step may be to put in filtered water. And the next easiest step may be, gosh, we're going to buy a blender for breakfast. Oh, you know what? Maybe we'll give headsets out for Christmas. If your staff's coming to you saying, I need a headset, I need a better chair, you're not being a great leader. You're not. Because you should have their health and well-being at the top of your list so they can live better lives. All right, thank you, and have a great rest of the afternoon.